you've got.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but
You know, we have a lot of expressions in the English language.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
What are we talking about?
where'd that come from?
Most all of us use them every day.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means.
You know, we just say them as if they really made sense.
I mean, how silly is that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
What the f is he talking about?
Hey, what's good? What's good? What up? You know what it is. You know who it is. It's A.M.E, Mario, and welcome to the Appraise the Phrase Show, origins of everyday expressions, where we're here to do three things: unveil the origin, confirm the meaning, and assess the value of common everyday phrases. Let me get the instrumental decreased. 20 is in the building as usual. 20, what's good, brother?
Oh man, everything's good, man. I'm just out here chilling, man. You know how it is, bro. I ain't gonna go too long. We got a guest tonight, so I ain't gonna go too long on what's going on with me. But I'm just letting everybody know.
Yeah, it was not like a check-in because we talk regularly, but lately it's been about business. But I'm glad that you're reminding me on a professional public forum that you're doing okay.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Of course. Just gotta get this business down.
That's it. So yeah. All right. Boom. Done. Back to business, friends. I'm joking, man. You know I love you, man. Let's, like you said, we have a guest today, as we typically do. And I always say, and always means always, so I gotta say it again. I'm excited for who we have on the show today. I won't waste any time. We got a Texas native connected in the family. We'll explain why later. In the family, but ShySpeaks, American hip hop and spoken word artist, is in the building on the ATP set today. Shy, what's good? I know. Usually I can't control the audience though. I said snap. They said, you know what, Shy here. So hey, calm down, everybody. Shy, what's good?
Audience be going crazy.
Man, it's all good. I'm excited to be on the Appraise the Phrase show. I love the whole concept about it. I love words. Words are fun, so it's gonna be good.
Hey, word. Before we dive in, go ahead, 20.
No, man. I enjoy that, man. Whenever somebody get on the show and then they get the concept and then they say how much they enjoy it, makes us feel good because we're growing with it too as well. So it's good to see that people are growing with the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're humans. We're hearts. Before we dive into the actual phrase, Shy, tell folks a little bit more about you.
Right. So you already put it out there. Texas native. I'm from Dallas, a little part in Dallas, as some of you guys probably know of Oak Cliff, right? That's my hood. I'm a hip hop and spoken word artist, but my mission is to reinfuse positivity and spirituality into urban culture through the arts and the power of my voice, right? So that's the mission that I'm on: positivity, spirituality into the culture through the arts and the power of my voice. And so listen, I'm excited to be able to use my voice today in some type of way. That's like, I mean, I feel like that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Dallas through and through, on a mission.
Hey, Dallas on a mission. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you chose a phrase, we're going to get into it. You brought the phrase today, and I'm excited about that because typically when we bring the phrase, like the guest kind of sits back and takes in the journey. Whereas this one, like usually when they bring it, it's like they're engaged already, leaning in. So let's not waste too much time. We're going to talk about sticks and stones, ... Sticks and stones, ellipsis. Okay, so I've got an opinion on sticks and stones. We've all likely got an opinion on this phrase, this thing that we know, this nursery rhyme. So I'm gonna pop us off what I think about sticks and stones. It's locked in. It's one of those things that is locked into your brain. You don't remember when it became a thing, but it is a thing that creates an emotion, creates a nostalgia, creates a remembrance. And then now as an adult, I'm like, wait a minute. You say that, but do you mean that? So that's kind of where I currently sit with sticks and stones. Like there's a nostalgia that's going to hold me, but I'm willing to to pull it through the ATP blender. So,
And that's all I have to say about that.
all right, 20. All right, 20.
All right. Now, just for the reference, it's the whole sticks and stones, break my bones words. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Go ahead and finish the first. Give them the whole phrase.
Give him the whole thing.
Oh yeah, words never hurt me.
Yeah.
Right. 100% lie.
You coming out the gate.
Are we not in the nest? Are we not in the nest? We're not in the nest. Oh no, that's 100% lie, man. You know, I feel like when we hear that phrase, it's usually as a child.
Mhm.
You get what I mean? Like I think that phrase has more of an impact on a younger person as opposed to an older person that has actually been through a lot of more experience. You know what I mean? Like yeah, physically, if you're talking about a physical term, it's 100% true. But the way that it is said, the way that it is meant, I feel like that's a way to not deal with it. I'm gonna hold that.
Yeah, of course, you get it.
I'm gonna
It's
hold that for later.
stackable. It's a
I'm gonna hold
stackable
that
thing. It's a
for later.
Lego. It's a Lego type of show.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's what that's doing as an adult.
Yeah.
As an adult, that's what that's doing.
Got you.
Go ahead.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Excellent.
No, of course. I got a lot to say about that, Forrest. I got a lot to say about that, Forrest. But that's all I'm going to say about that.
There we
You know,
go.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, what
Thoughts
I
and
think
why
about-
you thoughts and then what made you bring it?
Okay, all right, here we go. So, I brought the phrase because it's so popular. Like at any given point in time, anybody could say "sticks and stones may break my bones," and then just go like this, and then the rest of the audience or people or listeners could go ahead and fill in the phrase, like, "But words may never hurt me," right? And so I brought it because I think that it's one of those things that means well. It means well, but when you really, 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 really think about it, I'm gonna have to go with 20. It's all cap. It's all cap.
That's what we do on the show. No, don't be shy. Don't be afraid. That's what we do.
Yeah.
This is why this show is here.
Exists. Yeah.
This is why we exist, because we try to separate what we feel in our heart as opposed to what we feel in our mind.
Right.
And sometimes that transition between each other, it gets lost. Between the nose and the mouth, it gets lost.
Yeah.
So we got to go ahead and really, speak on things here. So go ahead and say it. Say how you
Call it
feel.
what it is, huh? No,
Yes,
like,
man.
and here's the thing, it means well, and to a degree it could be used as a way to like protect you, especially as a child, to stop being so caught up and so wrapped up in what people are saying when they're intentionally just trying to hurt you. Remember that they're simply using words to hurt you. That's what they're saying. They're simply using words. They're not hitting you with sticks, they're not hitting you with stones, that they haven't touched you, they haven't put their hands on you. So let's not give it more power than it really is. But it's
right.
So it's kind of is it me giving it power, or is it just that words are powerful, right? But in reality, it helps a child digest, like, okay, don't take it too serious. They're just talking. They're just saying things. People can talk. Talk is what? Cheat, right? Is what they could say. On the flip side, though, it is harmful in the sense that it's because it's like, it's making me feel like if I'm internalizing that word as a child, it's making me feel like maybe I'm tripping for being hurt, almost to the degree that person just punched me. Why am I this hurt when they didn't punch me or they didn't hit me with a stick?
Yeah.
So it makes me kind of feel bad, because the old phrase says, the old nursery rhyme says, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." So surely I'm the one that's tripping. But so I just felt like we should really like unpack it. Plus, it's layered with me being like a lyricist, like the whole like sticks and stones break the bones. Like I just feel like there's a lot there. So.
Yeah, you did a lot. You did a good thing. You did a good thing with bringing this in. So let's get into the meaning. Let's confirm the meaning of "sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." So In this episode, we actually are not going with Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition or dictionary.com's definition. This one actually has a little bit more research-based definitions behind it. So first, we're going to go with the Cambridge Dictionary's definition of sticks and stones and finish the rest. And it said, in order to show that people cannot be hurt by unpleasant things that are said to them. So that's one. The English Club Dictionary said that sticks and stones, and finish the rest, is a response to an insult, implying that you might be hurt. You might be able to hurt me by physical force, but not by insults. So, 20.
Yeah.
These two, how these two definitions fare in your mind? What does it do for you?
You see how they like to get you with those words like might.
I hate them.
You know what I'm saying? Like when people hear definitions, you're looking for more definite words.
I mean,
not to be a lyricist. Not to be a lyricist. You know what I'm saying?
I mean.
I see what you did.
So you see what I did there? Okay. But nah, like I said, man, it's one of those situations where it's like they're in a sense on they're watching their own ass because they're saying, oh, it might do this or it could do that, and it's just like a situation where, yes, like words hurt, man. Words give that feeling of hurt. Words can hurt more than a punch sometimes. You know what I mean? So it is a sense of coping or dealing with something in a way of trying to, not really put too much into something.
Yeah.
It is a situation where it's like, even in the definition is still telling you it's not that bad. Like you said, Shy, it's not that bad. It's not, it might not, you can get over it. You know what I mean? And then maybe it's a different way we should approach it, especially with children these days, because you can see what's going on the news and how, mental health is just skyrocketed. I feel like this phrase wasn't there during the mental health awareness part of the a time. Like obviously you're going to go back and see what how old this is, but like this is something that hinders mental health awareness, I feel like, because it's saying, not keep it bottled up, but hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like deal with it like this, or it's not that bad to actually express yourself after somebody saying something that is hurtful to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Based on the definition makes it seem like it's a choice in the matter. Like it
Right.
might, it may not. I mean, it may
Right.
or may not. Someone insults you, it may or may not hurt.
Yeah.
But isn't an insult?
It's perspective.
The intent there.
Yeah,
Yes,
the intent there is like that's like somebody said, "Oh, you got, I'm just playing." You know what I'm saying?
Like it still stung a little bit, and it's funny. I want to give you more space, Shy, but I do want to say like it's weird that how strongly and how much we're trying to, or the definitions are trying to make this stark difference between physical and verbal insult, when it's like, well, if my son who's 3 hits me in the stomach, I will walk right through that. But if he say, hey man, I don't like you, I might freeze. I might freeze in the hallway like, whoa, now what I done did? I'm mad at you, daddy. Huh?
Right. And on the flip side,
crying in the car.
On the flip side, if your 3-year-old son punches you in the stomach, it's gonna hurt different. Versus like if you punch him in the stomach, it's the same thing. It's a punch. A punch. It's like saying a punch might not hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so it's like that. Trying to make it seem like that with a kid. If it's a punch, I can eat that.
Yes.
But I don't know. When it comes to words, it's like I don't care if it came out of the mouth of a 3-year-old. Like it's heavy.
It holds a weight. Absolutely. All right,
I
then.
like that, Mario. I like that one, Mario.
Yeah,
You hit him with that one.
Yeah.
You hit him.
You got to know. All right, let's unveil the origin real quick.
Where'd that come from?
All right. So we're gonna start in the English, early English, like UK, Britain time. So it's a nursery rhyme, and it's used. This is like written out. I told you, like there's some research on this phrase, and there's a lot of articles, some scholarly, some blog, that talk about this, and scaffold it next to, or literally position it next to what you were talking about, 20, the mental health, and how there's a new wave of digesting words for young people.
Right.
So like there's a gap in this. So it's defined as being used as a defense against name calling and verbal bullying, and it's intended to increase resiliency, avoid physical confrontation, and to remain calm and indifferent. So like you were saying, Shy, a way to do something about it, manage it. It has like a goal behind it. But before we do dive into that, let's get into your lyricist, musician, spoken word side, because the first 3 words of this rhyme are an example of Irreversible, Binomial.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you know.
Yeah.
So can we hit the audience? Can we hit the audience to what an irreversible binomial is?
Let's do it. Go ahead.
All right,
Go
bet.
ahead.
So that is a pair or group of words used together in a fixed order as an idiomatic expression or collocation. So the words have some semantic relationship and are connected. And they also belong to the same part of speech. So like nouns, they're nouns, milk and honey, adjectives, short and sweet, or verbs like do or die. And the order of the elements cannot be reversed. Once they're locked in, they are locked in. So many irreversible binomials are catchy due to the alliteration, like sticks and stones, to rhyming, break my bones, and redundancies. So they become cliches and catchphrases very fast because of how good they sound. Idioms like rock and roll, birds and the bees, collocations like mix and match, wear and tear have particular meanings apart from each other, but together they create something new, like loud and clear or life or death. Those are fixed. People don't say death and life. People don't say clear and loud. So they're stuck. And some English words have become obsolete, but they stay like they still are still used when they're inside irreversible binomials. For example, spick is not a word that anyone uses on its own anymore, but
spick and span.
But spick and span still stands. So I had to set that stage for the power one of this phrase and the power.
Yeah, I get geeked over there.
You see, yo, the power is like.
Come on.
There's a science behind why this one's going. Not just, there's a science behind it, a way of feeling good to the ear. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into the actual origin history timeline, and where y'all at with that shot, you got to talk to me. How you feel about that?
So because sometimes things could be structured in such a way that it feels good to us, right? So if you know words and you know how to use them and string them together, you use the irreversible binomial like that, like some of the ones you just said, speak and span. We're not even using that anymore, but we stick with that, right? So we don't realize it, but the way our brains are made, it's a reason why this phrase, while we may reject the notion of it to some degree, or you may embrace it to some degree that it's helpful, but mostly you're probably going to reject it, especially as we move more into like the mental continue to raise mental health awareness, and we begin to realize that words matter, and we try to help people stop using harmful words. You know what I mean? Like as we get that could be a point that we totally reject that notion. But the reason why it's going to be so hard to come out of our mind is because it was the way it was structured, sticks and stones. Like you said, rock and roll, a rock could roll. You see how that's cool, right? That's why we like it, right? So sticks and stones, it just sounds a certain way. And then break my bones, like it. That's why it's going to be fixated in your mind. It's kind of hard to let go.
Yeah.
But just because something is put in your mind that way, that doesn't mean that,
Exactly. It don't mean we got to go with it. 20, where you at with the irreversible binomial knowledge?
Oh, I think my personal favorite has to be Rise and Shine.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Rise and shine, like everybody says it. Like when you're waking somebody up, rise and shine, rise and shine. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably the most popular one in movies too as well, like drill sergeant said. So it's like, yeah, man, you start to hear these things and you don't know why, but you relate it to certain situations. And once again, like with this situation, it's like when you're trying to hurt somebody, when do you really pick up a stick, or when do you really pick up a phone? You know what I'm saying? Like you get what I mean? Like, but But if you're talking about breaking bones, you're like, that's the first. I don't care what you think of. That's the first thing you think of. Sticks and stones could break your bones. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the repetition on when you're hearing it kind of takes over the actual meaning or the actual reasoning of it. So yeah, no. I like it, man. Like I believe in it. Like this, like I said, this is one of the things that attracted me to what we do now, because it's like, yeah, I can finally question why the hell am I rising and shining? You know what I'm saying? Why does this spick is, you know what I'm saying? Like I can actually question it and get answers to it. Like before,
you just better
I don't know how
y'all. Your ass better just rise and shine.
Why I gotta rise and shine? Okay, I'm rising and shine. I'm rising and shine. You feel me? Like, there was no questions. There was no questions, boo. There was no questions.
They go together.
Yeah, they go together. You better, and if you rose without the shine, you better. I would like to know, Liam. I will look up. I would like to know what the shine is in reference to. Is it like be your best? Is it like show?
Yeah.
You know, like present well.
It's almost forcing you to kind of embrace it, right? It's forcing you to embrace a certain way of waking. Why I can't wake up and just be calm? It's almost like. So we love it because it's rise and shine. It coincides with the morning. The sun has risen and the sun is shining. So go out there, beam bright. So you almost need to wake up like happy and
on one.
And like
if the sun complain, you shouldn't complain. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like, you know. So yeah. That's why I feel like that's one of my, you know. I'm glad we're talking about this because, like I said, I get to ask questions about things like this and actually get some answers and actually get a better understanding.
Work. All right, let's jump into some timelining. You got anything, Shy, before I move on?
Yeah. I was just gonna throw a couple of other ones.
Yeah, let's go.
Understand the Irreversible Binomials.
Let's get it.
So just so they can kind of like, I mean, we got speak and span. You have yes and no, right? So it's almost leading with a positive affirmative, right? So hey, do you want to go? Yes or no? Like it's almost like
that's real. Oh my God!
It's like you're when you use it, you know what I'm saying? These things come with a little bit of a force behind them. That's what I'm trying to say. So here are a couple of other ones: moms and pops, near and far. You know, instead of pops and moms. So who gets the most precedence? Shout out to Father's Day. I'm not gonna do it anyway.
Hey, no, we good. Hey, Sean, last year we did it already. We did a Mother's Day episode, and then we told the fathers, "Hey, look, just show up, okay? You're not gonna get an episode. Just show up."
Yeah, you know, heart and soul, right? We love that. We love let's see, null and void.
Null and void. Don't really
use the word null. Like
that's gone.
Null and void is, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that's null and void. We like signs and wonders.
You in here. You going. You going.
You know? So we like that. So anyway, we like the idea of ebb and I'm gonna stop with them so we can ebb and flow with the rest of this show. You see what I'm saying?
You know what? We might have to have a segment, a monthly. So we gotta have you back monthly so we can keep people on their toe. Like we gotta keep going. We can do this forever.
Because you don't realize how often you use them.
No.
Until somebody say, hey,
like what?
No, that was.
We saying ebb and flow. Yeah, we're just gonna ebb and flow. Do you even know what ebb is?
Yeah, what is an ebb, y'all? Ebony, I don't know.
Ebony average?
But we all out here ebbing and flowing, you know what I mean?
As often as we can.
Anyway, because the way they're packed together is word structure, the structure begins to embed itself in your brain, and your brain receives it as it is so. It's just that way. And so we are with sticks and stones. It just is what it is.
Yeah, it's hard to reject. I love it. I love where we going. All right, let's add some history to the science, the word science. So we're going to take it to 1830. So 19th century, mid 19th century, Alexander Kinglake, in his Eothen book, which was written in 1830, it was finally published in 1844, used golden sticks and stones. So that was the first time it was printed and seen. Didn't really have anything in addition to it. And then you jump another 13 years after it was published, an article by F.R. Homer in Liverpool's Northern Times included the phrase, "Sticks and stones, says a schoolboy's rhyme, may break men's bones, but bad names will not hurt me." And then it kept going
Say that one
1862.
again.
Yeah, jump in, please. Always.
No. Say, can you say that one right
Oh
there?
yeah,
again?
yeah. It said, "Sticks and stones," says the schoolboy's rhyme, "may break men's bones, but bad names will not hurt me." And this is from Liverpool in England.
And what year is this, Mario?
1857.
Ooh,
Yeah. Oh,
that's
there's
good.
a trend, and you both are very smart people, so I'm excited about this. So, an article in the Coleraine Chronicle, and that's in North Ireland, and the North Ireland Advertiser, so both of these are in Ireland, on January 18th, 1862, included the phrase, "Sticks and stones break one's bones, but names will never hurt one." So they're solid with the names part, like
Yeah.
calling you names will never hurt a bone, because he said will never hurt one, a bone, which
Mm-hmm.
I won't lead, but since we got places to go, I'm with it. Is that I can kind of get with it doesn't hurt your bones if if you want to be specific. I'm with that. I'm with that wordplay of sticks and stones may break one's bones, but a name will never hurt your bones. So like that would
Yeah.
be appropriate to me to say like, well, your bones aren't broken. You may be your feelings may be hurt, but your bones aren't broken. Like that to me nurtures in a way that like words will never hurt me is like it's a conflict. It's a mental conflict that I don't know if I rock
But
with.
yeah, I like that too. But not my bones. They were that context is definitely true, right?
Yeah. Like it's fair. It's fair. It's fair to the mind.
Like y'all both play. If you play sports, right? If somebody you're on the ground and all, like you can't get up. Like, why can't you get up? Did you just get hurt? Like, well, he just said, listen, your bones are. We brought the trainer out here.
Yes.
Trainer said,
Yes.
Yeah.
up, right?
You know, that'll be something, dog. That'll be something if they got the trainer and everybody out there, coaches
He
out
was
there.
mean to me, coach.
He was mean to me, coach.
Somebody said something. So yeah, nah. So we know we're not pulling the trainer out for this. So yeah, so I would agree with that if it would have stayed right there in that era.
In that era, word. All right, let's jump down to. We're gonna stick to 1862. So in January 18th, 1862, that was in Northern Ireland. Now rock with me here. So the earliest citation in America came from a periodical that was targeted to a large black audience. It was the Christian Recorder in March of 1862. And that said, in the Christian Recorder, it said, "Remember the old adage, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never harm me. True courage consists in doing what is right, despite the jeers and sneers of our companions." So that was.
I ain't never heard that part.
Yeah.
That's the remix. I ain't never heard that part.
So that was said in the Christian Recorder in March of 1862. Now let me build some context to these two important things: the Christian Recorder and this time frame, March 1862. So in March of 1862 was the Battle of Monitor and Merrimack in the Civil War. So that happened on March 8th in 1862, which gave false hope to the Confederates due to a naval victory on the 8th. Then they came back on the 9th, and it kind of got balanced out. So both sides were relatively enthusiastic about their ability to win the war. But just think about the Christian Recorder again during this time, Civil War, and there's a battle where the Confederates are just as optimistic as the Union on winning this war. So the Christian Recorder is the oldest existing periodical published by African Americans in the United States, whose existence dated before the Civil War. It had its genesis named as the Christian Herald, which was established by the General Conference that was held in Philly in 1848, and it was founded by Reverend Augustus R. Green in Pittsburgh. The Christian Herald was published weekly with subscribers paying $1.50 for a yearly subscription. So I'm going to keep going a little bit just to add a little more context to the Christian Recorder. So the first editor of the Christian Recorder was Reverend A.M.E. Clark, who was one of the first college graduates in the African American Episcopal Church, so the A.M.E., A.M.E., the historical A.M.E. Church. Clark was a graduate of Jefferson College and was considered to be one of the best educated men in the A.M.E. Church. So he wrote that the Recorder's focus would be on religion, morality, science, and literature, and it was to treat all geographical areas of the A.M.E. Church equally. In its early days, the Christian Recorder focused on religious news, but much of the paper was devoted to secular news, including education, voting rights, equality, and other secular issues that affected the lives of Black Americans. The Christian Recorder was a forum to discuss slavery, classism, racism, and it was written mostly by Black women and about Black women, and the paper also addressed issues related to families. Now, the Christian Recorder has been a faithful voice for the disenfranchised and the oppressed, and it was a strong and vocal opponent of slavery and repeatedly addressed the biblical and moral issues of slavery while encouraging Black consciousness. The Christian Recorder is still going and continues to serve the African American A.M.E. Church in local communities around the world and in 39 countries, 5 continents, continues to push and print. So this very big deal from this very big church, from the first publication, is the first American printed word for sticks and stones will break my bones and words will never harm me. Shy.
Wow.
Talk to me. What does that put the phrase for you? Where does that place you?
Man, I'm wondering, is it because of the power of like media, right, and communications, how communications and media help cause things to be widespread, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out through the Christian Herald or Christian Recorder, from that's produced from the A.M.E. Church, and it wasn't just really for AMEs; it was almost like for the African American community, Black community by large. I wonder if this phrase was more widespread amongst Blacks than
In America.
others.
Mm-hmm. It was first told to us by us.
For us.
Not for us. But now I will say though that I know that popular musicians that are not of African American descent have used it in their songs. So because of those pop artists, it's in pop culture from other, so they had to have heard it, right? But I'm just wondering, like,
No, you're right. No, Sean, you're right. Mario just said this phrase seems a little more blacker than it was before. Before it seems a
little, but then also, could this contribute to some like
please go.
Go. I mean, because we supposed to be having fun, No,
this is fun.
Could this contribute to like some of the like suck it up and deal with it? Like,
yes,
that you have to do with your, like, it's even especially for boys of color. Like, why you acting like that? Like, somebody, all they did was say something. You need to suck it up. Like, so now this is even more popular, what we call like toxic.
Come on.
I don't want to, but it's
no.
like
Let me help you out, Sean. Let me help you out.
Go ahead.
Let me help you out. Because I know what you're trying to say, but you feel like this seems like an older Black person telling you, yo, they used to hit us with sticks and stones back in the day. Just because they calling you the N-word, bro, go about your day. Just because they they used to lynch us. They used to lynch us back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, they just calling you a name, but they kept going. Back in the day, they would kidnap us, beat us, do all this stuff.
Yes.
You lucky they just calling you a name.
Yes. It gets to that point.
They didn't break your bones. You're lucky for this. This is what I fought for. This is what my bones was broken for them to just call us a name. So that's what I'm getting from during that time Mario said it was for, and what they're saying right now, especially in the Black church, because back in the day, the Black church, Lord bless them, but they was all for the turning of the cheek. They were all for the resilient movement. It seems like this is something that the Black church was saying to our youth, to say, hey, look, it was worse. This is what we have to deal with now, but it was worse. So, try to fight through them calling you the N-word, or try to fight through them calling you names, because they're not touching you. Yeah. Before, they could just touch you whenever they wanted to. Yeah. But now it's like all they can do is talk to us wrong. All they can do is talk to us bad, but they can't stop us from doing what we got to do.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what it
So it's
seems like.
Yeah. Go
it
ahead,
could go that way, and it's meant to like minimize like the fact that it ain't well, not say minimalize, bring into context, right?
Mhm.
Bring into context what the progress, so be resilient even through this.
Yeah.
But then it
Mhm.
kind of it's almost like a little bit of kind of encouragement to like just absorb that, just
Yeah.
and it's not. You were about to say something, Mario. Go ahead.
No, I'm with you. Y'all are going there. Like it's cheating for me because I've already connected all the dots in my head. So sometimes I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Because I've done all the research. So I'm like, it's in context. I love that you said that. Like in context, it is encouragement because you're talking about in the middle of the Civil War. You're talking about in the middle of the war happening. Like, hey, steadfastness is what we need right now, right? So I
Right.
get that. It's appropriate even.
Perfect.
It's appropriate even for that time. There's a but. For me, there's a
Yeah.
but. For me,
Yeah.
there's a but. And it's almost ironic that I could say back to you, Elder, who I honor, that those words don't have the same they have the same power, but they don't execute the same efficiency right now. You're stopped. So now that we're not there, now we got to cross the next line. We've crossed that line. And now I got to stop you from, you can't say crazy stuff to me then. Now that you can't hit
Right.
me, now you also can't say crazy stuff to me, dog. Like that's where we're at. I'm not tripping.
That's where we at.
Yeah, I'm not tripping because
Right. And to be honest, words, not necessarily like insults being heralded at somebody. Yeah, let's not be too caught up, ignore them, right? But words can never hurt me. I'm gonna go ahead and slide here. There is no law that exists that it does not constructive sentences and words and sentences. That's where we so really words do matter. So because even though we've moved beyond a physical abuse or oppression, you could still be really being hurt by the power of the pen, and putting the people in your life, put that paperwork in your life, putting the laws in place. Words can hurt me because words form sentences, and sentences form bills, and bills, when they get passed, become laws, and laws can either stop or block my economic progress. Pardon me for being an artist and activist.
you're doing what you're supposed to do on this episode, Shy.
Yes, exactly, man. Exactly. No.
To do on this episode.
We're all activists. We're all artists on this show.
Exactly.
Don't get
Look,
not get it twisted.
Go ahead, Tony.
So,
oh no, go ahead, Shy.
No, I'm saying my mama watches, so I got to keep it real.
Exactly. Like it's people that's like, we told we gonna do something with it. So I'm proud. Go ahead, Shy.
Yeah. No, like I just it's not it. It's a cool word in a certain context, but just in and of itself, left out there to just hang as if it can blanketly apply to everything, it cannot. It may not break your words, cannot break your bones, but words can hurt.
Yes.
Period. Whether they're an insult, whether they're being wrapped up in the law, whether they are not from somebody who you would consider as an opposition. It could be somebody who you consider a loved one. Most people nowadays are healing from things, not necessarily just getting bullied at school. Some people never got bullied at school or anything like that. So people are healing from the words that were said to them, or well, one time you said this and I never forget, and it hurt me to my core. Or let's go here.
Let's go.
The words that weren't said, right? Words that are not said to you, things that you needed to hear to be affirmed and have the confidence that you need, were not given. And so now the absence of those words are hurting. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm there, and I'm gonna, with that 20 uses a thing, I'm gonna strengthen that already strong statement. I want to support and strengthen that by saying there will be no reason for people to say be kind. Like there would be, or there would be minimal reason for people to say to be kind if we were really supposed to use the words never hurt me part as a way of being. Like I can't be there if kindness is supposed to be up there. It's supposed to be a top act. Then let's focus on that part and not like me not retaliating to the words. You know what I'm saying? Like let's not even go there with that. So
exactly.
Let's do this real quick, y'all, because we got to the place. We got to the place I want to get to. So we got in America African American audience from basically at that time the largest, most prominent voice for African Americans. Following that up, though, immediately a year later, no, same year, going from March to November, a speech given by E.H. Haywood in Boston, Massachusetts, and published in The Liberator. And this happened, he got published a year later in 1963. The speaker quotes a little Irish girl who dissolved the quarrel of a group of children who are about to come to blows by saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names can never hurt me." So the Boston folks stuck with the English-Irish version of name calling. But that it got to America after. So E.H. Haywood said it in America after the A.M.E. church, and Mr. Clark said it, Reverend Clark said it. And then in an article in the Tiverton Gazette on March 16th, 1866, they referenced the old school rhyme by saying "Sticks and stones will break our bones, but calling names won't hurt us," sticking with the name calling thing. And then in 1872, it came up in Tappy's Chicks and Other Links Between Nature and Human Nature by Mrs. George Couples. And she used "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never harm me." So I see what kind of white folks is doing, and that's they still going with the name calling part. Like I didn't realize that when I was like doing the research and writing it down, but as I'm reading, I'm like, oh, they really stuck with like, yeah, name calling ain't so bad. And I'm like, hey, you would say so, huh? You would say so. And also I would say like the Irish thing, because they be trying to no offense to nobody what the Irish went through was trash as well. Because, you know what I'm saying? The oppressor has a way of being. But the Irish tend to have their connection to oppression in a way. So it kind of makes sense that this phrase also is oppressed folks talking to themselves as well. Like it's a get through, get by, I guess, sort of thing. And yeah, so I think so that we can get these thoughts out, let's go ahead and appraise this phrase. So Shy, what we do here, we wrap up each show that we have all the thoughts, all the origins, history, where it sits today. So that's where it sits today. So not much since the late 1800s. Not much has been touched with this phrase outside of songs and song titles. And maybe that's because of that irreversible binomial thing more so than the belief in the actual phrase. So anyways, when we're appraising, we got the power grade. We got A through F scale. And then 3 parts, power grade, the impact, how it's said, what happens when it's said or heard, does it get its point across? Then we got the speed, is it smooth or easy to say, flow off the tongue? And then we'll have you cap us off with the guest preference. That's all things considered. So as you're thinking about the power of it, as you're thinking about how it flows, how you feel about it, the facts we just pulled together, you give it an overall grade. So 20. Let's go power. Do the power for me, man.
Yeah, of course, man. When it comes to power, I give it a B plus. Reason why I give it a B plus is because, of course, the longevity of it. I feel like when you hear it, it automatically takes you to a specific spot, a specific time. You know what I mean? It's nostalgic. So like it does have that effect on you too as well. It's easy to remember. It's one of those things that kind of make you feel like it since it is a nursery rhyme, I feel like honestly, I'll be honest with you, Mario, it doesn't, with all the information that you gave us, it doesn't give off nursery rhyme.
No,
it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't give off nursery rhyme at all, but yet that's how we kind of like label it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those situations. That's why I kind of give it a B, because after everything that I'm hearing, it can have a negative. It does have a negative side to it, and I felt like it didn't really give you that negative side to it until like you getting a little bit older and you start to realize, hey, words do have a certain feel to it. Words can bring a certain feeling towards, whether or not you're hurting or not when it comes to it. Now, when you say the name part, I feel like that what brings the truth out of the statement. But if you take it away, then it's not a true statement.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why it's like, overall, the words matter. It really, really matters. So I can't give it a full A. So I give it a B plus because once you change the words, it kind of changed the truth of it.
Yep, got you. 1B plus. All right, I'll go speed. I think the top of the show graded it for us. It is scientifically smooth to say. It is for the brain smooth to say. Now you can even with like Sticks and Stones, yes, locked in. You can literally name something Sticks and Stones and people gonna rock with it. Anything, a sponge. It's a Sticks and Stones brand sponge. Oh, that's like I feel like you will gravitate towards it. Restaurant, song title, but it's just one of those things. Add the rest of it, Sticks and Stones and Break My Bones, and then you get to say whatever you want after that. I think because Sticks and Stones and Break My Bones, I'm locked in. I'm already leaned in. Finish it however you like. This sounds great. So I got to give it a full A plus because it meets the soothing need that words and sound makes.
Bro, scientifically, it's on point.
Like
you just
like the science is, and it's not.
Science is there, bro.
The thing that I'm not getting, and I'll let you go, Shy. Feel free. The thing I'm not getting with what the research is like how it was crafted, because that's the part that's a little bit more dark and insidious for me. In terms of like, this phrase has a way, it's embedded in you, and like the older you get, the more you got to shake it off. But it's too late because scientifically, I rock with it. So, Shy, all around guest preference.
Guest preference. I'm giving it an A, B, C, or D,
or F if you like.
Or F.
Ooh, F is an option. Okay. I am giving it. Sticks and Stones. I'm giving it a D. Sticks and Stones. From that perspective, from the scientific A, yes, I agree with that. But the continuation of the phrase is where it takes a D because it needs more. It needs to be coupled with something, right? It needs to either say, name calling will not hurt my bones, or it needs to say mere words. Empty words will not hurt me. But if we're going to really embrace all the other idioms and phrases that we really embrace, which is, life and death are in the power of a tongue, then we have to start to embrace the fact that what's coming out of somebody's mouth can be life producing or it can be producing death. And that's just what it is. It can be a blessing or it can be a curse. And that is the power of words. And so the first part of the phrase makes you feel like it's an A, but then you get to the end and it's like that failed horribly.
Yeah.
I can't give it an F because there is some truth to it. So it's not a total. We were saying in the beginning it's all cap, but it is some truth to it. But it's a D because it's not. It just doesn't pass. It's not going to get you there. It's not going to get you where you need to be. I want to add another. I used a quote. What people think is a quote: "Life and death are in the power of the tongue." It's really a scripture, right? But we use a lot of scriptures as quotes, so to speak, as if they're not like coming from a religious or a spiritual perspective. But I want to lean into one scripture that says that if you speak without thinking, it's in Proverbs 12 and 18. It says, if you speak without thinking, your words can cut like a knife.
Come on.
Be wise and your words can heal, right? And so as we move into a place where we've raising awareness for injustices, mental health, and all that kind of stuff, we have to take full responsibility for the power of words, that they are life and death, that words can cut like a knife, which is why it does feel like that. But at the same time, words can heal. And so that then gives power not to the person to have to be resilient, right? It's not about me being resilient on what it gives the power to the person who's the user of the word to decide how they're going to deliver it. So if you want to keep it on the A, Sticks and Stones, but if you want to use it the wrong way, you can end at a D and possibly an F. I'm gonna end with a D right there.
We're gonna officially make it
I like
stamped up, and that's go because it was gonna be in the tourney. It was like me and 20, because we do a tournament every year, and it's funny you mentioned the Pins Minor in the Shore was number 10 last year, and it made it in the top 8, and it's because it really is one of those things where it connects to this, and it's almost in opposition of this actually. So D, it is. We made it, y'all. We made it. We made it. We made it. So before we get out of here, many thanks to ShySpeaks. As you can hear for the audio listeners only, as you can see and hear for the YouTube visual viewers, Shy got it, y'all. So please, you will be able to find her in the show notes. And I use find loosely for people that are already doing their thing. It's like a weird word for me to use. Just go continue to support because it's dope, it's fun. And we ain't calling in no favors yet, but when we start getting more theme songs, we know who to call. All right. I'm gonna pass it. You heard me? I'm gonna pass the 20 for one of my favorite parts of the show, Shy. We're gonna get into
The dictionary of misinformation.
20.
Oh, can't get enough. Now, Shy, honestly, this is really, 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 really great part of the show where we kind of interact with our guests on a different scale as opposed to the phrase. Me and Mario found this book called The Dictionary of Misinformation, and what we usually do at the end of each show, we ask our guests to give us a letter. We can't use X because obviously there's some petty people out there and they already use X, so we have from A through Z. We have to do A through Z. All right. And what we do is we just go, when you give us a letter, we go through the dictionary and we go through that column and we figure out some information that we've been misinformed, starting with that letter. So if you want to give us a letter, you don't have to. We'll figure out a letter ourselves, but it's best when you have participation.
Let's do it. So I'm going to go with, shout out to my own name, ShySpeaks. It's a couple of S's in there. So we're going to go with the word. We're going to go with the letter S.
Let's go with S. All right. 20, are you going to do the thing? I actually found one relatively
fast.
quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that's a first. That's a first, but like that's not due diligence. So I found one. I'm going to keep my finger on it. And then, because typically,
Shy, what he does, he goes through, he finds a good one, he laughs about it, he contemplates about it, and then he goes, I'm gonna use another one. And so we the suspense. Even if we use an S, we should use S for suspense because that's what Mario puts in there every time he does this. Every time.
We need a little suspense.
Okay. Can I do two?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I do two? I
You know what? Let me ask the owner of the show. Yeah, he said, yeah, you can do two.
Excellent. Thank you. Look, all right, so we're going to start with two S's, shooting stars, SS, we'll keep it going. So real quick, just to keep it light, shooting stars, in spite of their name, this phenomena are not stars, but meteorites. Small masses heated to incandescence as they pass through the Earth's atmosphere. The stars ain't shooting, y'all. Stop saying it. Shooting stars, the stars is not shooting. They are, it is. They ain't holding. All right, the other one, though, I wanted to get into was spelling. I think it matters because of what we pushing. So spelling is actually no indicator of intelligence or even of literacy or skill. There were many, many writers who were bad spellers, and highly intelligent people may just be very poor spellers. What is often overlooked or unknown is that uniformity in spelling or attempts thereat is quite a recent development in English, linguistically speaking. So springing from the rapid increase in printed material since Shakespeare's day, so during that period in English literature commonly regarded as its summit, nobody worried about correct spelling. So it's a relatively new phenomenon for the correct spelling of things to be a sign of intelligence and literacy and smarts.
That's perfect. I love that book. Bro.
And I get it because
I get it too as well.
If I wanted to spell Mario
you can
with
see
a
something.
Z,
Yeah, bro, you can see something even though it's not spelled correctly. You can know what you know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know what they were trying to do. I get what they were trying to do. Exactly. I can hear what they were trying to do.
Real quick before we got here, because typically we don't. It's the dictionary of misinformation. It's not coming from my brain or Tony's brain. Please don't argue with us. Please, if you want to send a letter, I will send a letter to the writers of the book. But one thing I want to connect with that is I was watching Django the other day. And there was one scene where the dude walks up to him after the Mandingo fight. Crazy scene. I actually really despise it. And he walks up to Django and he says, "What's your name?" He says, "Django." He says, "The D is silent." And dude says, "I know." And I had a revelation in that moment. I'm like, that's a very important scene. I don't know if it's an important scene in the movie. It was important to me because in that time, that's not a crazy thing to say to somebody that the D is silent. like duh to us because we see words so much, but to like in that time when not everybody's literate, he's literally saying it as a matter of fact. Like it's actually don't pronounce the don't pronounce the D, even though you see a D, because we're all learning to read. Even though you see a D, the D is silent. And he's like, no, I know that. As a like, you know what I'm saying, to say I understand. So to me, that scene is bigger than just like, oh, the D is silent, ha ha ha, as a joke. No, it's like relevant for the time. Like not everybody can read, so I gotta let niggas know if something looks is said different than it looks. I actually have to make that statement. All right,
funny.
man, Shy, thank you again. Thank you again. Thank you again.
All right, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you so much, man.
You have a good time.
I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed talking to you guys, unpacking this word and unpacking these words, laughing at stuff. Did we ever figure out what ebb means? No, I'm just kidding.
No, hey, let me. I'm about to put it in the show notes. And actually, ebb means.
Yeah, no. We know it's the ebb with the water type of thing. Like,
got it. Because I sometimes look and I was like, I'm done. 20. Where you at? Last words. Final words, man.
Nah, man. You know what? Honestly, this has really, really been great, man. Because it not only does that it kind of debunks the whole sticks and stone things for me. Be honest with you. Like now, I gotta actually pay attention if I'm saying that to my kids or not, because it's like one of those situations where if I say it the whole way of the name calling wouldn't hurt me, then it's like, yeah, okay, I'm speaking the truth in my kids. But if I'm just telling them the words, I feel like now I got to go a little bit more than just saying, hey, words don't hurt. Actually, yeah, you got to know how to deal with words just as long. You got to learn how to defend yourself from sticks and stones just as much. You got to defend yourself in words too as well.
I like that. Appreciate y'all. Look, you can find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube for the visuals. For those that aren't watching, tip your flight attendants, please. Crazy things going on with flights. So tip your flight attendants. Check out theappraiseappraise.com for all things. You'll be able to find all ways to connect with ShySpeaks in the show notes, in the promo stuff. Also remember, before you get out of here, that value in the eye of the appraiser. Okay. Next week.